Welcome to A Mason's Work, the podcast where we review Masonic symbols and illustrate how they can be used to solve problems in everyday life. With your host, Brian Mattox, a proud member of the Craftsman Online Media Network.
So when somebody brings you a challenge that they're experiencing, a problem they have in their own life, there's really kind of three ways out of this, right? The first way is to fix it for them. And we've been talking a little bit about why we don't want to do that. The second way is to walk away. Like, well, it sucks for you, buddy. Off you go. The third way is abiding. The movie, The Big Lebowski, is pretty great for a lot of things. It's funny. It's got a lot of cultural relevance. But one of the best phrases is the dude abides. And the idea here about being with somebody while they're suffering, while they're going through it, just being present in and of itself creates an opportunity for relatedness to increase. So it sounds cold when we say things like work your own stone and mind your own business and, your work ends where you end, right? It can read like a license to not give a shit, but we're not there, right? We're not trying to say, don't care. We're trying to suggest that while we build relatedness with each other, that discomfort that you're experiencing is shared together. Their problem, they're sharing it in the context of the problem they're experiencing. You're receiving it as the felt discomfort of a friend that's hurting. If you, again, try and translate your discomfort into solutions to their pain, you are effectively making it go away. But in that process, you are building some behaviors in that person that will inevitably hurt the relationship long term. So I'll give you some examples of how this can play, right? One of them is a concept that we find in psychology called codependence, where you regularly solve somebody's problem and they regularly bring their problem to you, and then they lose agency and capacity over time. You use it as a technique to make yourself feel good. And now you're in a relationship that's so entangled and so difficult to navigate because you both are profiting by that cycle that you can't get out. That's like a worst case scenario for where some of this stuff goes. But even the lighter side of it, you've solved their problem. Now they bring the next one to you, but you're not available because you can't solve all the problems all at once and you can't be everywhere all the time. You've now created this problem in the relationship itself where you're on the hook for all of the things and you don't have an unlimited amount of time, resource, or capacity. So as we work through what it means to meaningfully help others and be with them when they bring problems to you, we have to learn in a lot of ways that there's almost, for lack of a better way to say it, nothing to do, which feels really weird because you're uncomfortable and you want that problem to go away. You're uncomfortable because your friend is suffering, and yet all you can do is nurture the conversation and be present. There are some things you'll find as we go, as you work through what it means to become a leader, what it means to become the worshipful master or the father or the mother in your world. Those ways that we solve these problems, that is not directly providing the solution, but in fact helping build capacity. There's some techniques for this. There's some ways we can do this. One of the ways we talk about in the book, the mentoring process, is where you essentially help drive a line of questioning, where you help open a conversation. The Worshipful Master's role in this case is an opening role. We're going to open an area to explore. Be careful as you develop this skill. Opening can be used to sound a lot like solving. You know, somebody comes to you with a conflict they're having with a friend, and you say, well, have you talked to them? Are you sure that's the right thing to do? Are you suggesting that they have a conversation? So be careful with that sort of Socratic technique that masquerades a lot of times as not solving, but in fact turns into, again, you being the solution to their problem. So as we go through this, and as you learn more about what this looks like, you'll find how easy it is for you to trick yourself into solving somebody else's stuff. So think about how this works in your everyday life. We'll talk a little bit more in detail tomorrow about ways that you can do this, and be mindful of the ways that that might go wrong if you let your ego creep back into the conversation.
The views represented in this podcast are those of the speaker alone and are not representative of any grand or subordinate lodge.
Hi, Brian here. I wanted to thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you have any suggestions or guidance for further episodes you'd like to see or hear, whatever the case may be, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at amasonswork.com, and we will try and incorporate your suggestions into a future recording. Thanks.
Freemasonry teaches us that the true work is within, a lifelong journey of reflection, discipline, and discovery. At A Mason's Work, we help Masons bring out their best selves through meaningful self-inquiry and symbolic practice. From personal reflection to lodge engagement, we offer tools that turn symbols into action. Visit us at amasonswork.com. The work is within. The time is now.